How did Islam recruit Jesus to prove Christians wrong? According to Islam, Jesus is not God, he wasn't crucified, wasn't resurrected, and when he returns at the end of days, he will break the cross, the very symbol of Christianity, kill the pigs, and die as an ordinary man. So, how did Islam Islamize Jesus? And how is it possible that almost no one in the West knows this? Now, to be clear, these aren't my own personal theories. Everything I'm telling you here is basic, fundamental Islamic theology. Islam completely transformed the role and essence of Jesus. But it is not just Jesus. They did the same to Abraham, Moses, and even Islamized Jerusalem, a city that isn't mentioned in the Quran even once. There is a fascinating pattern here and some very basic things people simply don't know about Islam. But before I talk about Jesus and Muhammad, I want to talk about a simple Jewish guy you all know, myself. I'm Jewish, and I made a video about what Jews think of Christianity and Jesus. Go watch it because I think it is one of my best. In short, as a Jew, I don't believe Jesus is the Messiah. The idea of that Trinity, that God had a son, sounds very strange to us. I believe Jesus existed. I think he said many true things, and I even agree with some of his critiques of Judaism. But I believe that when the Messiah comes, things will look different. There will be no more suffering or wars. You might agree with me or you might not, but in the dialogue between Jews and Christians, the boundaries are very clear. Jews believe in one set of books, the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, and Christians believe in the Tanakh and the New Testament. By the way, both are actually libraries. The Jewish Bible has 24 books, and the New Testament has 27. Christians added those 27, but the shared books are the same. We might argue over interpretation. Christians see the Old Testament figures as a prelude to Jesus, while Jews don't. But if you open a Jewish Genesis and a Christian Genesis, it's the exact same book. With Islam, it's completely different story. Islam took the Bible and the New Testament and simply Islamized them. It changed them entirely. The most prominent example in the Bible, Abraham almost sacrifices Isaac. In Islam, it is Ishmael. Or take the golden calf. In the Torah, Moses' brother Aaron sins and builds the calf. In the Quran, a different character builds it. This isn't just a cosmetic change. Beyond the fact that the Quran alters Jewish and Christian scriptures, it flattens the characters. To me, one of the most beautiful things about the Bible is that even the greatest figures, Moses, King David, King Solomon, even Elijah the prophet, are shown as complex, often as flawed human beings who sin. Islam flattened these characters into perfect, one-dimensional prophets. The case of Jesus is even more extreme. Islam doesn't just flatten him, it turns him into a prophet who exists to prove Christians are wrong. I'm surprised not only that Christians don't know this, but that some people are selling Christians a completely different version.
I had no idea that Muslim religion believes in Jesus as a prophet.
Jesus is a very sacred prophet in Islam. So much so that when God sends his messenger back down when everyone is saved in the Quran, he does not send Muhammad. He sends Jesus back. Okay? So that's how holy and important Jesus is in Islam. How often have you heard that?
So, who is right? That guy or me? Let's see what the Quran actually says. People of the book, don't take your religion to extremes. Jesus, the son of Mary, was only a messenger of Allah. So believe in Allah and his messengers, and don't say Trinity. Stop it. It is better for you. Allah is only one God. He is far too glorious to ever have a son. So yes, Muslims believe in Jesus, but only as a messenger. They reject the Trinity and reject him being the Son of God. And that's just the beginning. Look at what it says next. And for their saying, indeed, we have killed the Messiah, Jesus, the Son of Mary, the messenger of Allah. And they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but another was made to resemble him to them. And they did not kill him for certain. This is one of the most important verses for understanding the Muslim view of Christians. Jesus was never crucified and never died. It empties the core of Christian faith, which is based on the crucifixion and resurrection of all of its content. Later, it even suggests that those who worship Jesus are disbelievers. Anyone who gives partners to Allah, Allah has banned them from paradise, and their home will be the fire. There is no one to help people who do such wrong. It gets even sharper. On Judgment Day, according to the Quran, God will ask Jesus, "Did you tell people to worship you and your mother as gods instead of Allah?" And Jesus will answer, "Glory be to you. I would never say something I had no right to say." Understand what's happening here. This isn't respect. This is a calculated move to use Jesus as the main witness to prove Christian theology wrong. Islam uses Jesus to correct Christians, make them realize they were wrong about everything. This isn't my personal interpretation. This is the most basic Islamic concept regarding Christianity. The fact that no one talks about this is insane. In the Hadith, Jesus becomes a central figure in the end of days. He will return, but he won't return to confirm Christianity. On the contrary, he returns to abolish it. In Sahih al-Bukhari, it is said that Jesus, the son of Mary, would descend as just judge, and then he will break the cross, kill the pigs, and abolish the jizya. What does breaking the cross mean? It is not just about breaking physical ornaments. It's a symbol. It means the most central symbol of Christianity will be shattered. It's as if Jesus returns to say to Christians, "You used me incorrectly. Now I'm here to fix it." Killing the pig symbolizes that Christians will finally understand their impurity in eating pork, and abolishing the jizya, the tax Jews and Christians pay to live under Muslim rule, means that Jesus will ensure there are no more Christians or Jews left. Everyone will be Muslim. So yes, Jesus is important in Islam because he's the one who ultimately eliminates Christianity. By the way, what Islam does to Christianity, it does to Judaism in exact the same style. What is the most important place for Judaism? The Temple Mount, Mount Moriah, where Abraham almost sacrificed Isaac, and where the temples stood. What did Islam do? It didn't say the place wasn't important. It just Islamized it. Abraham sacrificed Ishmael there, and the site of the Jewish temple became the place where Muhammad ascended to heaven. Think about it. Jerusalem is not mentioned in the Quran. To anyone who disagrees, don't call me a liar. Prove me wrong. Read the Quran and find me the word Jerusalem. Muslims simply took the Quranic reference to the furthest mosque, Al-Aqsa, and placed it exactly on top of the holiest site for Jews. This is the real reason the Muslim world is so obsessed with Israel and the United States. Many people in the West are so secular, they don't understand the religious motive in politics. Think about it. Why would a Muslim in Iran, Qatar, or Turkey care so much about Gaza? There are wars in the Muslim world with 10 times the casualties, much closer to home. And truly, the Muslim world doesn't care about Gaza at all. They care about Israel. Imagine for a second that someone compared an iPhone 7 to the brand new iPhone 18. And somehow the old iPhone 7 was actually better. Faster internet, longer battery life, lighter. It would be a disaster for the company, right? In the eyes of Muslims, Islam came to replace Judaism and Christianity. It's the final version. For centuries, Jews and Christians lived as an inferior minority under Islamic rule, forced to pay a special tax just to stay alive. And then suddenly, these inferior Jews renewed their sovereignty in their historical homeland. By the way, the Quran actually mentioned the children of Israel as the original inhabitants. But the fact that they are back, and not only back, but succeeding, undermines the entire Islamic worldview. Why do you need an iPhone 18 if the iPhone 7 is more successful? This is the root of the conflict, the sovereignty and success of the Jews in Israel and the Christians in America. And what I described, how Islam uses Jesus to dismantle Christian theology and uses Jerusalem to dismantle Jewish theology, isn't a thing of the past. It's happening right now with the myth of the Palestinian Jesus. I remember the first time I heard this argument, and I thought to myself, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. How can Jesus be Palestinian if it's clearly written that he was Jewish? And the Palestinian national identity was invented 1,964 years after he was born. Saying Jesus was Palestinian is as smart as saying Wisconsin is a city in Israel. But it turns out that if a billion people say it long enough, it eventually catches on. If this method worked for them in the past, why wouldn't it work in the future? But I want to return to Jesus. According to Islam, Jesus didn't just come to cancel Christianity. He also announced that a messenger would come after him. Jesus, son of Mary, said, "O children of Israel, indeed I am the messenger of Allah to you, confirming what came before me of the Torah and bringing good news of a messenger to come after me, whose name is Ahmed." Ahmed in Islamic thought is Muhammad. As I said, I'm a Jew. I am an Old Testament kind of guy. The common Jewish view is that a Messiah hasn't arrived yet. But if I had to choose between Jesus and Muhammad, I think I know what I would pick. Tell me who you would choose. Muhammad started dozens of wars. Jesus started 0. The New Testament teaches a husband to treat his wife with respect. Muhammad says it is permissible to strike her. According to Muslim tradition, Muhammad stoned a woman for adultery. According to the New Testament, when they brought an adulteress to Jesus, he told her, "Go your way, and from now on do not sin again." Muhammad took many wives, including his son's ex-wife and a 9-year-old girl. Jesus did no such thing. Muhammad commanded to kill those who don't believe in him. Jesus teaches to forgive those who lose their way. What do you say? Who would you choose? Write your answers in the comments below. I've covered a lot of ground in this short video, and so I will summarize it in one sentence. Is Jesus important in Islam? Yes, he is important because he is used to hollow out Christian theology and recruit him for the cause of Islam. Please subscribe to the channel, it is very important to me, and share this video with people who need to see it. And if you want to truly understand Jerusalem and its religious significance, go purchase my Jerusalem course. It's excellent. You will be so much smarter and you will also support my work. It's a win-win. The link is right here below. I will see you in the next video. Yalla bye.